A customer just traded in their car and left me with a $2,200 service bill. You know, I thought it was weird that the customer just did tires 1,000 miles ago. They just did an oil change 100 miles ago. And then all of a sudden, they're trading their car into me. But I'm not too scared about it because this is a 2012 Toyota Camry XLE Hybrid. Look at that, it's a hybrid. Gets great fuel economy. We're going on almost 24 years after a vehicle is traded in. I typically will look for like garage door openers, CDs, when there's a CD player, just some personal belongings just to ensure that customers don't forget their stuff during trade-in. And most importantly, like I did right here, I find customers' personal information. And what I found here was an actual repair order showing that the customer just a few days ago got an oil change, all of this stuff done. But what shocked me was this big paragraph right here. This paragraph reads, customer states for the first minute after startup, the screen from the HVAC control head stays black, does not light up. If the vehicle sets for any period of time, the settings will all be default at 75 degrees and will require adjustment. If the vehicle is not shut off very long, it will maintain the vehicle settings. Diagnosed and advised. And I kind of thought my shock and awe was done on this car. I thought, well, that's not too big of a deal. It's probably pretty simple. I couldn't recreate the situation there, but then, then I go to page 2. It says the following work was recommended but not performed. Air conditioner, radiator, damper, servo, sub-assembly. Denied work. Estimate $2,212.35. To say my jaw hit the floor would be a little bit of an understatement. But then it came to me, Mike, over the last 21 months of starting this dealership here in Georgetown, Indiana, I have learned so much, and I am absolutely shocked by how much consumers pay dealers for work. And I bet myself that I could get this fixed for less than $200. So we're gonna find out. So the first thing I had to do was wait till the next morning because I wanna come out here, start up this car, and see exactly what it does so that I can figure out if this really is an issue or not. All right, so here's what it's doing. None of this is working. There we go. Interesting. So see, it just did that. Interesting. So that's what it's doing. And there you have it. That's exactly what it was doing. So now the only thing that we have to do is go back and tell Rich that he most likely is gonna have to pull a dash out of a car we just traded for. But I have confidence in Rich that there's been some things that he is supposed to pull a dash out of a car and he hasn't had to do it. I will use the Rolls-Royce as an example. He had to pull the starter out of this car. You're supposed to drop the whole subframe and blah, blah, blah. He told me it was like this huge ordeal to do it, but he didn't have to do all that work. And this is what I love about Rich, because he's very intuitive and can figure out like little hacks, which is what you pay a mechanic for. You don't pay a mechanic to do it in a certain amount of time, you pay for the knowledge. Now I just gotta find him to let him know. This should be fun.
One eternity later.
Rich! I got a task for you, buddy.
I ain't doing tires.
No, I don't want to do any tires, but we have a vehicle we just traded for. It says it has a $2,200 repair order from a dealer. I'm betting you can do it for less than $200.
Probably so.
You think?
Maybe.
I like it. I'm gonna bring it back here and you gotta figure out what's wrong with it. I'm not telling you what's on the repair order.
Okay.
So I'm just kidding on that part. I'm gonna tell him exactly what I read and what I told you guys, because I truly wanna see how well Rich can look at this car and see if he can be smarter than the dealership. And I have full faith in him, which is why his company is named Faith Automotive. Interesting. All right, Rich is pulling that apart. This is a 7-hour job that, wow, it'll be interesting to see what he finds when he pulls this out.
A few moments later.
So Rich is in here diagnosing the problem. To kind of give you a little bit of insight, you can see that part right there on the left side of the fan. It's got that green and blue controller at the bottom, or that connector. So what has to happen is that is one piece. There's a piece above it as well, and that's what Toyota is saying is wrong. So in order for us to get to that entire little piece, the entire dash has to come out. It's a 7-hour job, and basically the blower motor fan right here has to get out, but we can't get to it with the exception of taking it all out. So as you guys know, we have this nice 𝘊𝘳 scan tool here. Rich has got one as well. And this thing right here possibly could have saved us thousands and thousands of dollars. When we scanned this, it was telling us that one of those controllers were bad. And it's actually the bottom one that I was showing you. Well, Toyota does not have that part that you can buy just by itself. It's got to be that whole huge thing that makes you take out the dash. Well, our friends at O'Reilly's says that they have this exact part because he was able to get a part number off there, run it through their interchange parts list, and they're like, ta-da, they have it in place. And they're on their way right now to bring it to us, and you won't believe this, it's a $30 part. $30. He's already gotten that taken apart. He doesn't have to do anything else. He's probably maybe 20 minutes in to this repair. 20 minutes. And while we wait on that part to come in, I'm really excited to show you that we have our very next donation car. You guys know my Keys to Empower program. We donate cars to those in need, and this is it right here. We've already got our family selected. It's an amazing family, and we're almost to our next 100 cars, which we said we were going to have done in 150 days since our last one. We're close. We're really close. But this car right here is going to an awesome two-person family that is extremely deserving of it. And in the next video, we're gonna give this car away to them, surprise them. They think they're coming here to buy the car, but they're gonna get it for free. And it just arrived right there. This is our part that we're waiting on. Now remember, as I stated earlier in the video, we had over $2,200 repair order to fix this. The customer was quoted that much money at a Toyota dealership. It'll be insane if we can fix this for just a few $100s. Is that our $30 part, Rich?
Yes.
All right, let's see if you can save me $2,218.
I think we got it.
You're not done yet, are you?
Nope.
All right, man, you're moving way too fast. I come out here and you're already got all that out. You already screwing it back in?
Yep.
Oh shoot, how long's it been recording? 41 seconds. What's taking you so long? All right, let's start and see what happens. Go. All right, look. So that came on last time at 75 and 75, right? And reset. So it did that. So it's kind of interesting. There's a little lag in there, but it came on that way. All right, so we're looking at the 𝘊𝘳, and that code that we saw now says history, which means what?
It is no longer present.
Really? Now it'll be really interesting to see if this truly did fix the issue. How much was this part?
$30.
$30 part. Even though it took a minute to come on, it did not do the 75 and 75. So it's really, really interesting. And what we've noticed is that it's always been on a cold start. So I'm not sure if it has done it throughout the day or whatnot. If you watch that white part that's right there on the top, you see how that just moved? We turned that to the heat, and then we're gonna turn it back, and that moved. So that may have been the broken piece and not this expensive piece that's right above it that has to rip everything out. See how that just came back? Now that we think that we've got this fixed, I want to start it again and see what happens, because when I started this up earlier in the video, look, see, it comes on. So let's change this to this, and let's change this to this. Shut it off. We're gonna start it again, and we're gonna see it stayed the same. Also, as I stated earlier in the video, we noticed it on a cold start. And if this is fixed, is when we come back in the morning and see if it does that exact thing. If it does, I'll tell you what, I may kiss Rich on camera. That's how much I love you, Rich. All right, it's the next morning. We're gonna turn this bad boy on. It's sat for probably 14 hours, and we'll see if it works. Now, Rich says it's going to work with no problem, and I trust Rich 100%. So I'm really excited to see that this $30 part with about an hour and a half of labor. I'll show you the bill Rich gives me that I have to pay him to do this, and to see if this actually works compared to the over $2,200 bill that Toyota gave our customer. All right, everything is shut. We're gonna hit start. Boom, yes! It came on with no problem. Are you kidding me? That is absolutely insane. I can't believe that a $30 part fix this car. Oh my God, that is absolutely insane. All right, we're at day 3. You can see the customer has not picked up their car yet. That's always mind-boggling. They've paid for it, so that's not an issue. I've got Rich's bill, but since it has been now here 3 days since we sold it, I'm gonna start it again. Now, I've started this car probably no less than 7 times at various intervals, so it has now set since about 7 p.m. last night. It is now just right at 10 a.m. The next morning. So it's sat for quite a while. So we're gonna test it out one last time just for good quality insurance, because the biggest thing that I want to do is to ensure that we are selling a quality product. All right, hopping in one more time, hitting the start button, and boom, yes, right away, immediately, no issues. And as excited as I was yesterday when I started this and it worked, Frank, what do you think? Good job? I'm still excited, equally excited, if not more excited today, that a $2,200 bill turned out to cost us $110. $77 for labor, $33 for the parts. $33? He told me it was $30. He's scamming me, Caitlin. He told me it was a $30 part. These mechanics, I'll tell you. Absolutely crazy that we were to do this. And here's the biggest lesson that I can teach you on this, is get a second opinion. 21 months into my own dealership and seeing the way things work, I'm not blind to that, right? This isn't new stuff to me, but now seeing it really work, the key is finding a good mechanic, finding somebody who will do the extra work. At a dealership, typically they don't. They're technicians. They find a broken part, they replace it. What we had to do in this case was tear a little bit of the dash apart, get a part number off of the bottom servo to this blend door, and cross-reference it inside our own system and say, hey, listen, we can get that one part. You don't have to fix that whole thing. Toyota does not sell just that bottom servo. They sell the whole thing. So that's the biggest difference between the franchise world and the independent world. So get a second opinion. I don't know what my customer, if that was the reason he wanted to trade, but ultimately I have to lead to believe that 100 miles prior to you're getting an oil change, 1,000 miles prior to you're getting tires done, that having a $2,200 foreseeable future repair, he's like, I better trade because who knows what's gonna cost us. And ultimately, it cost us $110. Absolutely insane.